Welcome to the UglyMugsPodcast. I'm your host, Quincy.
And your other host, Justin.
So today I want a little bit more simple. I've just got my normal Folgers.
That wasn't to a fault of yourself.
No, we were going to go to a coffee shop. They closed early. Kind of threw everything into kind of a tailspin. But this is what I drink normally. I buy it in the big bulk because I can get it for like $11 at Walmart, and I can make a crap ton of coffee.
Every time you grab one of those big buckets, you give it a nice hug.
Yeah, and then I check the safety seal. But I like it. It's the mild classic one.
The best part of waking up.
Is Folgers my cup. But what do you got?
As for me, I've got something very special. Monday we went out to Sheffield's, a tea company that also does various spices and otherwise. I got a Berry Mania, which is a non-caffeinated full berry and orange tea. And I even bought some strawberry sugar. So I've already tried it. I already like it. So it's very strong in all of its flavors, especially the orange. The orange kind of coats everything else. The strawberry sugar kind of pushes it back.
Is it a green tea, black tea, white tea?
Just fruit.
Oh, it's just the fruit. Okay.
Just the fruit.
Gotcha. For me, I agree with orange being one of those things that can cover up flavors. The other thing I know is covers up flavors is banana. Anytime you put banana in something, like a smoothie or anything like that, or if you got like dried bananas as part of something, a banana will just take over in a second. So
I don't know. Me and bananas either get along really, really well or don't at all. So I mean,
I feel that the orange and banana are like the two fruits out there that kind of go, oh, we're here, we got this. Everybody sit back. So, but what did you want to start today? You've got a few news stories you're excited about, and then you've got a few games you tried. Maybe we should start there.
Okay, so let me get this out here. I love Terry Crews. Terry Crews is a godsend.
He's amazing.
Huh?
I said he's amazing.
He's amazing. But the game that he kind of promotes, not that great. Crackdown 3. I've been trying to trudge through at least to the 50% mark. The game is just a walk around collect-a-thon, not much of a story, no build, not much on it. The announcer / your handler, he is another saving grace for it, considering he's got a good voice. That whole you're doing great, the whole energetic cheering you on is okay, but I couldn't make it to 20%. Like it was.
Is it just the game doesn't work well? Like
aiming doesn't work well. Driving feels weird. I sent in a QA report, which I rarely do. For those who don't really know me, I used to do a little bit of QA for 2K games and a little bit of Gearbox. I was not a big fan of having to write a QA as a just normal person. Like I said, I got stuck. I can replicate it. Here's how you replicate it. If I can do that, that's not good. As a AAA title that got pushed back not once, but twice, and you still have these bugs that I can easily do right now. I could pop on your Xbox and replicate it. Not a problem.
Yeah.
That's not great.
So, do you think they're going to fix it, or?
I don't know. Hard to say. Because as far as they're probably concerned, there's a few other bugs and malnourishments that could be fixed, such as the aiming. The aiming is, I'm aiming at a guy, I click in to lock on, and it locks in on the fucking explosive behind him.
Okay.
That needs work. Free aiming. No free aiming. It's all lock on or open hand.
Gotcha. I feel like a lot of games are kind of taking aiming for granted lately. I think I talked about it in the last episode. I'm not happy with the fact that we've still got the same aiming on Red Dead Redemption 2 that came out in 2001 on GTA 3. And that's me personally. I know a lot of people don't agree, but it's a crap aim system. I don't like it. I'm playing Knights of the Old Republic, and I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm playing a lot of the games now because of how the aiming is, and that's an original Xbox game.
That is.
The other game you took a look into, we talked about last week because it was coming out this month.
The Sunken City. Oh my goodness. I love Lovecraftian. I love Cthulhu. I love Catharga. I love the Leviathan. I love all of it.
If a human mouth can't say it, he likes it.
Yeah, or or the human mind cannot comprehend it.
There you go.
I do enjoy all those Lovecraftian stories. So when I saw the original trailer after we had done that and went to go pick up your girlfriend. I was like, okay, cool. This looks great. I watched a little bit of gameplay about yesterday, and I was like, I can get down with this because it's mostly detective.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really need to pull out a gun and destroy things, but at the same time, you see a crab creature, you kind of want to get it out of your way.
Yeah.
One of the crab creatures ate a cat, and I was like, okay, this is interesting because that means that this exists.
It's not all in your head.
It's not a paradigm. But then again, with the trailer, it showcased it was a paradigm, and I'm like, this is good.
Gotcha. Okay. So you are big into the Lovecraftian and stuff. Have you? What's your take on the most recent Call of Cthulhu?
I will say the story I've heard was good, but the game itself was not great.
Broken or just not a lot of work?
Not a lot of work. It seemed
Gotcha.
like the first half of the game seemed to have had all of the love and the trust, and you had the characters coming up to you. I don't trust you, outsider.
Gotcha.
We heard from Innsmouth, blah 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 blah, and then about over halfway through the game kind of falls apart because go over here, go do this. Oh, come back. You have to grab this key. Oh, you have a med kit. I think someone's injured over here. That kind of thing.
Gotcha. I really like the because Call of Cthulhu is also a tabletop game.
Yeah,
I really like the rules and the sanity and all that.
I want to play it.
It works very well. There's a few podcasts I've listened to that done some episodes that were pretty interesting. So it's definitely something that I've always liked. I like Lovecraft. I've got the complete Necronomicon on audio. Which sounds dangerous if you don't know what I'm referring to.
Yeah, it's just a collection, correct?
Yeah, it's just a collection of all Lovecraft's work. And I enjoy it. He was a good writer and a bad writer all at the same time, in the sense that he had these amazing stories, but his descriptions were always, it did this too much. It was, it opens its mouth too wide. It had too many arms. Like, how many arms did it have, dude? Tell me how many arms it has.
Well, with the thing that has eyes of the infinite, you got to figure it has too many eyes.
Yeah. But it opens its mouth too wide. Like, is it going to swallow all of you? Half of you? How wide is too wide? Like, because as far as I'm concerned, anything with more than the normal set of teeth is too wide for it to open its mouth, because I don't want to see him. But I'm not saying, like, he's terrible or anything. I enjoyed his work.
Yeah. And then what we were talking about Left Alive.
That was the one that had the artwork that looked very Kojima-esque.
Yeah, we saw... that was another one we looked into on our way to pick up the girlfriend. And... it looked good. It looked like it had a good concept. It had mech. The recent early critics and a few user reviews came up, and it was getting some very, very bad reviews. 20 out of 100, 1.5 out of 5s. It was not doing great.
Well, we watched the trailer, and I was like, whoa, mechs.
Yeah.
I didn't get that at all from the cover photo.
The cover photo made it look like it was Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yeah.
Like it was super...
So this was kind of a moment where, like I told you, I was like, where we had to really take a moment of, you can't judge a book by its cover, because one, we went through and weren't expecting mechs. Two, we went beautiful art style, thinking Metal Gear status, and then it turns out that one, it's got mechs. Two, it's not exactly working very well.
No.
So, hopefully it's something they can fix. I don't know. I don't know what the case is.
I don't know. They said that the OST is really good. I will take a peek into it because I do love music from all video game genres. So they said it was a saving grace. I'll take a look at the saving grace. As far as other games go, Anthem is hard bricking PCs, PS4s, Xbox Ones.
I feel like people were saying it's happening more on the 4 than anything, or that's more reported cases are coming from.
That is true, but even still, having it happen at all is
at all is terrible. Yeah. I'm not blaming the console by any means. I'm blaming Anthem. I'm blaming EA.
Yeah, EA said if you have it on the PlayStation 4, refunds, no questions asked, it will be refunded.
Yeah,
just as long as you ask.
Getting $60 refunded to a non-working console doesn't really do me much.
You're right, but then again, there was a rumor, I'm putting this on Rumor Alert, that they've been giving their legacy consoles that are like specially made, the ones that have the skins already placed on, etched in.
Yeah.
They're giving those out to those who have actual hard bricked PS4s. I'm like, that's good for them, but it makes me wonder what happens to all that save data. What if it doesn't go to the cloud proper?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that's a lot of risk there. hours of gameplay that could be lost. There's the fact that you kind of build a bit of a bond with your machine.
Yeah.
And now it's been killed by a game that you were promised so much from.
Yeah.
That is already not delivering any of that, plus breaking your console. Furthermore, if it kills your PC, are they going to replace that? You realize how much stuff you're going to lose if you're not on cloud? I mean, I have OneDrive, but not everything I own is on OneDrive. I'm slowly doing it.
Yeah, it's
the
like
process I'm working through, but
like if I have it on a external hard drive, is that a whole entire external gone?
Yeah.
Like that's 4 terabytes of space. I'm almost full. If I had Anthem on there and Anthem busted that ass, that makes me wonder.
I've got family members that run off of nothing but externals. They have sets of externals so that they can just take them and move them to whatever computer they're going to be working on. Because they don't use cloud storage or anything. So if they were to play that game, bam, everything's gone. And the work they do, that's a pretty major issue. But I don't know. I was excited for Anthem back when it was announced pre-Destiny 2. And then Destiny 2 came out and I was like, I don't really care. And then I started seeing everything about Anthem, and it looked like more and more of a Destiny ripoff. So I was like, I don't know. And then it started being played with all the problems. First, there was the issue with people getting into the VIP thing. And then there was crashing and bug issues. And now it's bricking. And it's just one thing after another. And then from my understanding is those that aren't having problems with the game say the game's just kind of meh. Like, it's okay.
Like, they say it's a Destiny clone with a little more open-handed.
Like, I've heard that, they've even gone to the point of actually pulling parts of Destiny lore into their game.
And to be fair, that would actually make it a better game then.
I mean, yeah, the lore in Destiny definitely wasn't a bad thing.
It actually interested me enough to go through all of Destiny 1.
Yeah.
Not so much Destiny 2, but...
It wasn't ever interesting enough for me to go through all the Grimoire cards, because that was a lot. But it was interesting enough that if there was something I wanted to know more about, I would look for its Grimoire card.
Yeah.
So I could get its information.
Yeah.
Without even going to Google, first I would check the game.
Yeah.
So that's the, say something for the game there. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about gaming-wise? So I got a few things, but I want to see what you got.
Kind of. There's a halfway point between the movie / video game where an actor, Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, not Wild.
Not Wild. Different. Yeah. Oops. He, in an interview, post one of his movies, said that he would like to be Solid Snake in the Solid Snake movie. The director immediately popped up and said, "I'm down if you're down." And they did a nice little screenshot that I showed you.
Yeah, a little like artist rendering or whatever.
Yeah, and he looked just like that snake of that time. Mm-hmm. Which Metal Gear Solid 1, I mean, the shading of the face, you couldn't exactly get much features. That's how it would kind of look like if it was a little bit more HD resed, to today's times. He looked much better.
I like when an actor says, "I'm interested in something," and people listen to them.
Oh, yeah.
Because one of the things that kind of bummed me out about Deadpool 2, and no spoilers because I haven't actually watched it yet. I know I'm behind Bad Quincy. But one of the things that upset me about Deadpool 2 was all the back and forth on who Cable was going to be. There were actors that really wanted to play it, who actually went through and like they were getting ripped. They were sending shots of like what they could look like in the costume.
I still want Ron Perlman.
Yeah, Ron Perlman was one of them. I'm spacing on the actor's name, but he was the Marine in what is it called? Avatar, not Airbender. James Cameron.
Yeah.
He really wanted, and he was the one I wanted. Like, I thought he looked great for Cable. And they went with Brolin, who's an amazing actor. I like Brolin, but it's like...
You're already in the Marvel Universe.
That too. But it's like, at no point did I hear Brolin go, "I'm psyched to be Cable." Instead, I heard these other actors saying, "I'm psyched to be Cable," and never even heard whether or not they got a test screening before being told no. I don't even know if they even got told no. I feel like they were just ignored. So him responding to Oscar, I'm excited. Like, I'm glad you're at least giving him the time of day, because you could go do a test screening, like, you know what, I don't really think you work for the actor, but thank you for coming in, and thank you for letting him come in.
I mean, Konami has already stuck their toes into movie making, what with Silent Hill and Silent Hill 2.
Which weren't as terrible as everyone said. No. Silent Hill 1 just took too long to start.
Yeah, I will say it was a bit of a slow start, and then Silent Hill 2 was a bit of a because of how the game is supposed to be portrayed and how the characters will push and pull to believe this, that, the other. Like, that's neutral points. As far as movies, not bad. Not the worst, but not bad.
No, we definitely had by far more terrible.
In that time, yeah.
I mean, we did a whole episode, or not a whole episode, we did an episode where we talked about this already, about, video game movies.
Yeah.
There's definitely worse out there. So maybe Konami can do something. I don't know.
I can foresee that the Metal Gear trilogy, well, quadrilogy at that point, might be okay. Metal Gear 1 through 4 would actually be a nice thing to put up on.
I'm just wondering where licensing's at, where they're not Kojima's going to get anything for these. Like, does he at least get a check? Like, if he's not brought in to speak on it, does he at least get some money for what he created, or does Konami complete? I don't know what the situation there is.
You know what? I actually don't know either, considering he is one of the writers. But then again, they might just meh.
Well, if he's writing the movie, then yeah, the studio would pay him.
Well,
or are you saying writer for the game?
I meant writer for the game.
Yeah, see, I don't know.
They might shovel him off and say, okay, we got a new writer. Write something like this.
Yeah.
And, oh, God, how are they going to do Meryl? Oh, I don't... Now thinking about it, I don't know how they're going to do this.
Every time you say Meryl, I don't know why my mind goes to Marowak from Pokemon. I don't know why. The name Meryl triggers Marowak in my mind for some reason. And I'm not even the biggest Pokemon person. Like, I like Pokemon, but not enough where like that would make sense.
Okay.
You said Meryl. Immediately, Marowak.
Go ahead and hit me with one of your topics.
This actually kind of connects to our previous topic. We were talking about Anthem and EA. EA has yet again done something interesting. Between all the stuff that we've gone through with Star Wars, now Anthem, all the non-stop EA stuff, they have now announced that they will not be at E3 this year.
So we have 3 developers who have pulled themselves from E3.
And it has nothing to do with E3, because E3's ran fine. E3 doesn't do anything negative for the companies. Every time something negative happens to a company because of E3, it's because of something they did.
Yeah, but then it makes me wonder, why pull yourself from it then? Why withdraw yourself from all that publicity? You got to figure last E3 wasn't bad. It's just it was really slow, considering you had Ubisoft pulling people from one trailer to another just to play a goddamn song.
No, that was Naughty Dog.
That was Naughty Dog?
Yeah, because it was Last of Us. Ubisoft's the one that had the camera that started outside the building and followed in all the dancers who came and danced into the room.
That's it, for Just Dance.
And it's like, people buy the Just Dance games because they don't want to go to the gym, not because they care. Like,
you're right.
Calm down, Ubisoft. We don't need the whole dancing. Just tell us there's a new Just Dance game.
I mean, you have Microsoft, who was just like, here's all our trailers. Here's the really cool car for Forza. Here's more trailers. Here's the really cool gameplay demo for this. Here's more trailers. Also, here's a new feature. Have a good day. Like, they're simple, straightforward.
Yeah. Well, and you have Nintendo, who also does it simple.
looks at the last Pokemon Direct, starts to sweat.
Okay, maybe not the Pokemon thing, but normally they're very much like, we're not going to get into the craziness.
Oh no,
here's a video that we pre-recorded.
Yeah, okay,
have fun.
That I will say.
Because maybe this will open up the doors for some of the smaller game companies. They're not even not indie, but not Sony. And
I mean, then that means you're opening the door for more Devolver E3 stuff, if you recall them.
Yeah, but could you imagine if Insomniac had been given a bigger stage for Spider-Man at E3?
You're right. I'll give you that one. But as said, you're still opening.
We could really have seen those water puddles that may or may not have been decreased. I'm joking. I didn't think there was anything wrong with it, and I was actually very happy with all the responses. Did you ever see the sticker response?
The sticker?
So they have photo mode, and then they added water puddle stickers. And so one of the game developers went, and look, guys, I fixed something for you. And they posted up with the cartoony water puddle stickers over. I loved it.
It's a good nod.
Yeah.
It seems like the developers are now wanting to be a little bit more likable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine.
I think they're also a little tired of being pushed around by critics, because if we talk bad about your game, you don't make sales, type of thing. And, well, if my game's good, it's going to make sales. Fuck off.
That's kind of the thing with that's actually the kind of thing with Spider-Man, because you had some people who didn't like it.
Yeah.
They were like, it's no Spider-Man 2 by margins.
You're right. It doesn't have annoying pizzeria music.
Well, you had mentioned
in one pizzeria you can hear the music, but that's a little Easter egg, and you have to be standing next to the building. It's not like you can hear it coursing throughout the city.
Yeah,
but no,
it's open and closed when it comes down to the idea that they do their little handshakes with the producers of the music, and then you got the web swinging that quote unquote feels worse than Spider-Man 2.
I completely disagree.
I mean, some people
absolutely amazing. It's the best web swinging I've ever dealt with, and I've played the Amazing Spider-Man franchise. I played the original PlayStation Spider-Man. I've played all of them.
Yeah. But to
I
some,
even played Friend and Foe, which was not a good game.
But to some, they were like, no, this doesn't live up to it. But to the developers of that, they're like, okay, ow. They're like, we worked really hard to make this feel fluid.
I'm an Insomniac fan already, dating back to maybe not their original game. I don't remember what it was. I just remember I didn't care for the first Insomniac game. But, I wasn't the biggest Spyro fan, but I understand the appeal. I'm a Ratchet and Clank fan through and through. And then Insomniac started doing... They did what? Infamous was Insomniac, right? Yeah, I enjoyed Infamous.
I'm literally showing off my Infamous Second Son tattoo.
I didn't play Second Son, so that's why I didn't get the reference.
Oh, okay.
I have it. I haven't played it yet.
Oh, it's really good.
I want to. I want to go back through 1 because I didn't really get the turnout I wanted from 1. My own fault of punching the wrong people type of thing.
Oopsie doodles.
But then leading into the fact that I enjoyed Sunset Overdrive, despite what people say about it. I thought it was fun.
Quincy kind of has me as a child account. I've been playing most of the games that he grabs.
He's home networked in on my Xbox for those that understand what that means.
Yeah. So I've been playing most of the things he's been like recommending. I might actually go through Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah, remember, it's cartoony. It doesn't take itself serious.
Of course not.
Because
when you shoot a gun, it goes kabloof.
Yeah. I'm just reminding you because when you get to the ending, there's a big moment where it's cartoony. It doesn't take itself serious.
Oh, that bad?
Well, no, I enjoyed it, but people were
that
mad.
bad as in like, oh, really? It's that hard?
Yeah, just remember what the game's like as you play it.
Okay.
But then leading into... So that was the exclusive they did for Xbox, and Infamous was an exclusive for PlayStation, then they switched over to Xbox for Sunset. They're back over at PlayStation now for Spider-Man. I'm waiting for the next Insomniac thing. I want Insomniac to take a big spot at E3 if they can. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Because I trust them to put the work in.
I also kind of want them to branch out, get more developing studios like Ubisoft did for Ubisoft in Montreal, Canada, the other Canada one, Ubisoft Japan, all the other Ubisofts. There's literally an Ubisoft in every continent, which is nice.
Yeah.
But then you have like Ubisoft Montreal that does Siege, really good game, but then you have Ubisoft... I cannot recall. I want to say Brazil helped out with that one, but I'm not 100%. That worked on Syndicate. Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Okay.
Did not sell well. Did not play well. Just like Unity, but...
So I played Syndicate. I think it was better than Unity. I think people were too pissed off at Unity, and so when there were problems with Syndicate... Don't get me wrong, Syndicate had its problems.
Yeah.
I think people went, it's just like Unity, when it was...
Not as bad.
Not as bad.
Okay.
But, that being said, the year off they took... I understand it after playing Syndicate.
Nah, it's cool.
But I was not happy with Origins. It was too easy, and it didn't feel like Assassin's Creed anymore.
Yeah, it felt like some RPG game.
Yeah. And that's never what Assassin's Creed was to me. If I want an RPG, I'll go play an RPG.
Yeah.
In fact, I have been playing RPGs because I want to play RPGs. At no point have I picked up Origins, and I could totally go through another playthrough if I wanted. I just haven't because there's just no appeal to me.
Okay.
That's the other thing is, how are you going to make an RPG game that doesn't actually have choices?
I mean, to be fair, Assassin's Creed didn't really have much as far as choices. It was either...
Yeah, and that's my whole thing. Because it's Assassin's Creed, there are no choices. Therefore, it kind of ruins the RPG thing you're trying to do.
Okay. I get what you're saying now.
Yeah, because I'm playing Knights of the Old Republic. I mean, what I do is a very big deal throughout that game. I'm playing Witcher, which has its level of choices as well. And maybe some of them are a little simpler. What clothes I'm going to wear when I meet the king versus... what characters I did or didn't kill in the previous game type of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like Ubisoft as a company.
I do too.
I like early Assassin's Creed.
I do too.
I have not played Odyssey because I wasn't that happy with Origins.
I never played Odyssey or the last one I played was Unity, and I don't really... I remember doing the whole I can't see your face, but I can see your teeth thing, and I was immediately drawn out, and I did not play it. It probably played well, I wouldn't know.
I own every Assassin's Creed game in the franchise except for Odyssey.
Okay.
It's the first one I have not bought.
So,
I even own Rogue, which was...
that's right. And you also own the two smaller ones, the one that was set in Russia, and the
three smaller ones, India, Russia, and China.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I went hard on it. I enjoyed the franchise. I was following those games since the first game. I got the first game when it came out, not later on. I've been a fan of Assassin's Creed since the beginning. I've kind of fallen off now.
Yeah.
I liked Watch Dogs. I know people had their issues with it. The hacking didn't work like the trailer showed, stuff like that. Well, it was a trailer that wasn't gameplay. So you can kind of call Ubisoft on the stop trying to sell me things that you're not going to sell me. Yeah. And then there's the Watch Dogs 2 went in a really weird direction, but it was a very beautiful game. Having been someone that's actually been to San Francisco, Watch Dogs 2 is amazing.
Okay.
It's San Francisco, but clean. No offense to San Francisco. But that all being said, I don't really know what I'm looking forward to from Ubisoft right now. I mean, Siege was kind of cool. I played with Siege a little bit. But...
I mean, Siege, I had made mention that Mozzie and Gridlock, they just came out. I watched their gameplay. I watched them being used in live right now. I can honestly say I'm excited to put $10 to buy them. I don't know if I'll put on the 30 to buy the season pass, but the map is nice. It's set in the rural outback in a gas station hotel garage.
Okay.
It's this nice 3-parter
little pit stop type of place.
Kind of.
The first place you go to in Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, we'll go with that. And it has like a little restaurant area. Yeah, okay. And so as you're, going through it, you got the first floor, second floor. The hardest point I've seen to take is the garage, but that's another gripe for another day because I just started into Siege's next territories. But I do like Gridlock and Mozzie as characters.
I mean, and that's all fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with the game. Like I said, I played a little bit of it. It's enjoyable.
Okay.
I just don't necessarily have the urge to go and buy it. So when the reason why I delved into all this is because you were talking about that you would like to see Insomniac kind of do the Ubisoft thing where they've got the game developers in each country, which isn't a bad thing until I stop and go, you have that many game developers, you have that many people on staff, and Unity still came out the way it came out.
But that's one of the...
When you realize that one wasn't pulling their weight, why didn't someone else pick it up and fix the game?
Because that's implying that they can outsource.
I mean, you're all one big company.
You're right.
And if you're not going to run as a company, everyone's a team here, it kind of starts to get a little weird.
Okay, you're right. You are correct. You are 300% correct. But I don't know. They had to meet a deadline and they sent it out too early. They didn't have. They probably didn't have too many QAs trying to finish it up. They probably said, "These are the broken ones. Here's the reds. Here's the yellows. I don't know what you want me to do. Here's the reds. Please fix the reds. The reds are still here. The reds are still here. Fix them."
Yeah.
And then the QAs got annoyed. I'm sure.
I wouldn't blame them. I mean, repeatedly telling someone, "Hey, fix this." After a while, it starts to make you go, "What's the point of my job?"
Yeah.
So what do you think we're going to be looking at EA then? Because I don't think Bethesda's going to be announcing anything.
Okay, so we've already got a lot of cards.
Or I said EA, I meant E3.
E3, okay. Well, even still, we have a lot of cards already pulling themselves out. What are we going to look forward to? We have Devolver, who has 12 games in Day of the Devs 2019 ready out the door. It's just they're like, we're going to wait till all the bugs are fixed before releasing. Mm-hmm. Smart.
Well, yeah.
Like my friend Pedro, set and ready to go.
Yeah.
Just waiting, just fixing up any small time things. They're doing a lot of QAs. They're doing some private. I don't want to call it beta testing because that implies it's not a finished product. It's just, I guess, last minute hammering out.
Gotcha. Stress testing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you've got a whole bunch of other games. Splunky 2 is finalized, just waiting to get out the door.
That'll be a nice little fun one to release.
I like Splunky.
Yeah,
Splunky was a good game just to pop on, play 2 rounds of, and go, holy shit, wait, where'd my afternoon go?
For me, it was always one of those things where it's like, well, I'm supposed to meet people for dinner at 6:30. I got half an hour before I have to leave, but I'm ready. I'll jump on this. I got nothing else to do. Let me jump on this. Because it wasn't going to. It could take me in for several hours.
Yeah,
but it didn't need to have to.
Oh, of course not. No, you could have stopped.
I wasn't going to start a mission and be like, oh fuck, now I got to finish this. So yeah, you were talking about. So you got them who have games ready.
Yeah. Then you have Bethesda. Did Bethesda pull?
They haven't pulled, but I don't know what they're gonna. Maybe some Elder Scrolls. We could see some Elder Scrolls. That's. Oh.
They said that they were gonna update Hexen. There was a rumor around the rumor mill that they were going to bump up Hexen.
We could finally see something more about their new space game. What is it called?
I
don't remember the name of it.
Outer World?
No. That's Oblivion.
Oh.
That's the Outer Planets. That's Oblivion. That's from the creators of New Vegas and original Fallout 1 and 2.
Okay.
No, they've got the one. I don't remember. It's also being built in the same damn engine. It's their first original thing in forever. Bethesda's making a big deal out of it. I don't remember the name of it.
I
Not the point.
It's fucking just as long as it doesn't play like shit.
So I don't know what we could see from them other than that or Skyrim. I mean, Skyrim's really probably what we'll see. We'll probably see.
You mean
Skyrim.
in Elder Scrolls?
Yeah. Sorry, we don't know if it's going to be in Skyrim. So yeah, something Elder Scrolls.
I mean,
they said it won't be in Elder Scrolls. They said it won't be in Skyrim. I think.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be in either elsewhere or. They've already done Daggerfall. I wouldn't mind seeing Daggerfall again because Daggerfall was number 2.
This is supposed to be huge, so I'm wondering if maybe it's a couple of the smaller realms from earlier games like 1 and 2, and then some bigger realms that we haven't seen.
Daggerfall was a physically large game, as far as like distance. So I'm curious if they do something with Daggerfall or elsewhere or Mooncrest, or I don't remember the other 2 regions down to the south. Even still, that you've got a lot. You've got a lot of a lot. The narrative that they build, especially with the books that are in there, like the Daedra, the artifacts, all of that.
Yeah.
Super interesting, but having the artifacts be in multiple places in lore, not smart. And having multiple Elder Scrolls, giving you the vast knowledge of everything in multiple regions, not smart. Like, if the Elder Scroll were to change during the timeline, that's smart, because that implies that the knowledge is moving. But, of course, you don't have that precursor. You have it, we have an Elder Scroll out here, go get it.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I don't know. That's probably the thing I'm looking a little bit more forward to seeing something from them. Anything else? I don't know.
Todd Coward needs to just buckle up and stop releasing Skyrim on things because they keep re-releasing it.
Yeah, but I mean they're not the only company doing it. All companies need to stop doing it. Stop re-releasing something, especially if you haven't done anything to improve it. I know people that went and bought the $60 remaster of Skyrim that looked exactly the same and came with no new missions.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get what you're saying. I agree. And, it's like when Rocksteady did the remaster of the Arkham games. The only reason I originally got it was because 1, it wasn't $60. I spent $11. And 2, because it was the only way I could play them on my Xbox One because they aren't going backwards compatible. So that was my only reasoning. It added nothing new to the game, and honestly, the game didn't look all that different. And the game looked beautiful beforehand.
I mean, yeah. I'm currently going through Arkham Asylum right now on PC. I'm slow going with it, very slow going with it, because I've been into Sherlock.
Yeah, we got you watching Sherlock, and you just completely caught up, right?
I am all caught up, but then again, there's no message about season 5.
Martin Freeman came out and said, "Don't expect it anytime soon."
That's what I figured.
They haven't said it's canceled, but he's like,
it's on hold.
People are doing other stuff. Benedict and him are both in the MCU right now, so
sucks.
But the other companies that we might see at EA. So we got the indie people. We got Microsoft. We got Bethesda. That's not a lot for I keep saying EA. That's not a lot for E3.
You're right.
So I mean, there's got to be more.
That are Capcom might be able to pull something out. Maybe we might actually get Resident Evil 3 updone. We might even get Code Veronica. Who knows? Because from the look of Resident Evil 7 to Resident Evil 2 Remake, it wasn't that long.
Mm-mm.
It was not that long at all.
I mean, you got to figure you don't have to come up with a whole new story.
Yeah.
I mean, you're cutting a huge chunk of the game development process out.
And then you also have Devil May Cry 5 coming out tomorrow.
Okay. So, I mean, then that won't be on... When's E3? Obviously not tomorrow.
June, July, depending.
Okay.
I think it's mostly, for the most part, June.
Okay. So, I could definitely see them at least teasing something, if not showing us something that they're like...
I mean, Devil May Cry 5 was the last thing they really announced, and that was at PAX Prime.
Unless they would decide they want to do something else in the wheelhouse of... Capcom still own Mega Man?
Yeah, they're doing a TV show.
Yeah, but
an animated show.
that doesn't mean they won't do a game.
They haven't done anything with Mega Man since.
That's why I'm wondering.
Legacy. I don't think so, considering it's been this long, and the only thing we got out of it was Mega Man 9 and 10.
There's also Dead Rising.
Dead Rising might be able to pull something, even though 4 didn't sell too well.
I bought 4. I enjoyed it. 4 was actually an enjoyable game, and it finally got rid of the time limit.
Okay,
I'm so happy the time limit's gone.
I mean, it is a good feeling game. I can understand that, and it brought back Frank West.
Yes.
So I mean, I love Frank. He's and he was not out of shape. Don't make him fat.
Yeah. I did like the way that they handled making sure that you couldn't just book it past the zombies in the first one with him like spraining his ankle. I was like, okay, cool. But then after that, I was like, okay, is every character just gonna have some excuses why they can't sprint past the zombies? Okay, we're not even giving excuses anymore. Okay, you just can't sprint past the zombies for some reason.
I mean,
gotcha.
Also in the first game, you can dance on their heads if you get a good jump. So
yeah, you could do the running across the
crowd surf.
The crowd, yeah. That was one of the first moves I tried to upgrade too. That one and the one where you could throw the zombie off you into the other zombies. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait till we get closer to E3, see what we can talk about then. We'll do E3 coverage also when we get there.
Oh hell yeah, we will.
Yeah. I mean, we have jobs, so we'll have to, squeeze in watching E3, when customers and stuff like that aren't around. But we'll figure out E3 when we get there. Some of the other stuff I want to talk about in the wheelhouse of video games is Labo. Is that how you say it?
Labo.
Okay.
The Nintendo Labo.
Yeah, they just announced that they're going to do a VR kit for $39.99. Which, I mean, is expensive when you stop and go, it's cardboard, but cheap when you stop and go, wait, VR?
But does that mean that you have to use your phone?
I'm not sure.
Seems...
no, it would probably be the screen from the...
Oh, the Switch.
It's for the Switch, yeah.
Huh. Then that might actually be...
you'd slap it in. And then there's going to be different kind of VR headsets. So there's one that makes you look like an elephant and has a trunk that you put the controllers in.
Oh.
Yeah, so they're doing that. They're saying that the kit will be $39.99 and then it'll have extensions you can buy.
Okay. All right. So, you know what, Nintendo, you get a go clap.
Yeah, that'll be a cool little one. This is another thing for the Switch. Kid Icarus and Star Tropics are going digital on the 13th.
Okay. I've never played either or, but I mean, I know Kid Icarus from Smash.
Okay.
And that's about it.
I like that they're making their old games available, but I do believe, and I don't own a Switch, so I'm not 100% sure, everything I own digitally on my Wii U, I do believe, doesn't cross over, which means I'd have to rebuy Castlevania.
I know that.
Things like that.
I know that the Switch has its first N64 title, and it is Turok.
I like Turok on the N64. I'm not sure that would be the N64 title I led with. I would have gone with Donkey Kong, personally.
I would have led with anything.
Well,
I mean, Turok was a good game. Turok was a very good game. Turok 2 really put the staple in it that I like shooters, but yeah, not as a first one for this.
Yeah, it seems like a weird spot to go with that. Some more stuff for old games coming back, though. For PC, from what I can tell and everything I've looked into, Diablo 1 is back with a slight update to make sure, everything works fine for you. But Diablo 1 is digitally available. Blizzard got together with GOG.com and did it.
That's good and great and grand and all that, but I've made my qualms that they should touch Diablo 2. I need them to at E3 announce Diablo 2 remaster. I'll take it. I'll fucking take it.
Yeah, I would like a remaster for 1 as well, not just some slight updates.
Well, the updates are going to be much better because they're making it run on current.
Yeah, no, yeah. But if you're gonna take time, why not update it? Why not update the looks and stuff like that while you're at it? But neither here nor there. I understand why they went with 1 first being available, because there's been a lot of people born since Diablo 1 came out.
Yeah.
Who have never experienced it, and until now probably wouldn't be able to, because 1 wouldn't run on modern computers without a little bit of tweaking.
A lot of tweaking.
So,
it took me forever to get Sam and Max Hit the Road to work on a current PC.
I tried to get Fallout to work on a current PC, and that was a little difficult. You said you had no issues with it.
I didn't have much issues with it, but that was because I had the GOG version, which had the easy launcher through Scum.
See, and this is a GOG for Diablo.
Yeah, so that might actually make it a lot easier just to run everything. Because what it does is it puts a virtual console on your PC.
Yeah, it's like emulating, basically.
Kind of. Like, the funny thing is you can break into Scum and have it run Windows 95.
Gotcha.
Which
Someone was running... I want to say it was 95. It may have been a different Windows. Someone figured out how to run an old Windows on the Xbox, and then a patch came out that blocked it. I was like, ruining everybody's not real fun.
I mean, it's fun for some people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you can run Windows 95 on a current Xbox, why not?
This is some news that I know you're going to enjoy. Apex Legends has taken top spot on Twitch, knocking out Fortnite.
Neutral. Reason why I say neutral is because I just stopped playing. And I every time I'm like, hey, anyone want to play? Everyone's like, eh.
I like to see that
I'm like,
Fortnite is not this untouchable god. That being said, I don't have anything against Fortnite.
I don't either. I mean, I still like the save the world aspect. I'm not a big fan of the battle royale,
No.
just because I put a lot of time and effort into the save the world credentials.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I'm wondering if Apex Legends will decide to do something that's a little bit more core game, or if it'll only be battle royale. Because I mean, you're giving us some lore with these characters.
You're giving us
experience.
You're giving us some pretty good talks. Like if they did a story-based game about each and every one of them, maybe a 4-hour each.
Yeah, something small. It doesn't have to be huge.
Yeah, no, I would pay $20 for that.
Yeah, no, like I like the concept of Fortnite having its story. I like the lore in Apex and would like to see them having a story. As where PUBG just announced that they're doing an update, and I don't care.
It's zombies.
Is it really?
Yeah.
See, I didn't even know what it was. I didn't even look into it because I just don't care.
You want to know the funnier thing?
What?
It's only for the mobile.
Of course it is.
I don't get this company, man. Bluehole never fixed their fucking problems. It's still an ungodly hunk of shit that can't run well on a modern PC. Like, I can barely run it on medium.
I haven't even downloaded it. I don't care. I could have it for free on the Xbox right now and do not care.
That's fine.
You know how much crap I have bought, or not bought, but downloaded on my Xbox that was free, and I just don't care.
You've maxed out your entire...
Well, that's not because of crap. That's because of stuff I continue to play. Because you disagree with 2 games on my library doesn't make it crap.
Yeah, you're right.
And other gaming news, it's Master Chief's birthday.
Master Chief?
Yeah, so happy birthday, old man.
Halo? I didn't know. I know, but I didn't.
Okay,
I didn't know. I didn't know he had a date of birth.
I don't know if it's his birthday per lore in the game or if it's his birthday in the sense.
Oh, it's Halo's anniversary.
Halo's anniversary. I think it might be lore though, because it didn't say anniversary for Halo.
Oh,
so that's cool. You got to figure he has service records.
Okay.
I think that's about all I have gaming wise. I got plenty of movie and TV stuff that I want to talk. Oh wait, no, I got one more gaming thing. Sorry. Warhammer Chaos Bane.
Now, I can't say I love. I enjoy the Warhammer set. The Purge the Heretics, the whole thing. I like Vermintide.
I have Vermintide. I've never played any Warhammer, so I'll probably jump on Vermintide eventually.
Yeah, we both own Vermintide 2 on the Xbox, so we'll definitely have to do that.
Yeah.
You just need to go into Vermintide thinking it's connected, but not directly connected.
Okay.
Because...
Same world, doesn't necessarily need to...
Think medieval times in the Warhammer series.
Okay, gotcha.
Because
same world, just in history.
Instead of fighting just straight orcs and their version of their technology, you're fighting magic and rats.
Okay.
So it's vermin, get it?
Yeah, I kind of figured from Vermintide. So yeah, this just so the Chaos Bane. Its beta is open now.
Is it open?
No, it's for pre-order only, but pre-orders are available. It's open now through the 13th. They're calling this the first part of the beta, though. So I'm assuming they're going to do more beta.
Parts?
That seems to be the new thing. I mean, 76 had specific days of beta.
That's more acknowledging than certain days and certain parts of the story or certain parts of the areas.
This beta is launching with a couple of different things. So it's for pre-orders only. But this includes playable campaign Act 1, the sewers of Nuln, which is infested by Nurgle demons. It's got 2 available classes, the Imperial Soldier and the High Elf Mage. Maximum level cap on those is 20. And it's got local and online co-op with up to 4 players, which I like. I feel like local is kind of becoming something people are starting to blow off. It releases June 4th.
Okay.
So they've got plenty of time to fit more in there for betas.
And even stress test.
However, if you own the Magnus or the Digital Deluxe version, you get it on the 31st instead of June 4th. You get it early.
You get it a little under a week early.
Yeah.
Which is pretty nice.
It's not a bad little thing to throw in there for buying a higher version, I guess.
Yeah.
I still like loot. I will always like loot.
Yeah, I also enjoy the idea of loot. I don't like
Just
loot boxes.
Oh, no. Loot boxes are terrible. But, if I get a special gun for pre-ordering, excuse me, I'm going to be happy.
Yeah.
But that being said, don't pull an Assassin's Creed Origins and make it overpowered to where I just make everyone my bitch at level 2.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a little much for me. But that, I think, is the last I have in gaming news. Now, did you have anything TV, movie-wise you want to talk about?
I kind of got one that's gaming into comic book.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you were mentioning this. Yeah, go ahead.
League of Legends and Marvel did a little bit of a handshake. They released a couple of issues of a digital comic featuring Ash. There's one that features Jinx. And then there is they're going down a medium-sized list, but they're going to do a 5-part Ash series. I enjoy League of Legends. I have 2 League of Legends tattoos on my arms. I love this. I love this game, even though it makes me saltier than literally the depths of the Dead Sea. I never really went into the lore of these characters, and it's good to see that Marvel said, yeah, sure, we'll take the lore that you guys have and begin to adapt it and make it easier for people to get a hold of. They said that they just started releasing physical copies. So ask your local comic place if it is either there or if you can get it sent in.
Yeah, you should be able to get it at most brick and mortars, considering it is a Marvel comic. I mean, you're not going to have any issues with that, I would think. But most comic shops, in my experience, they'll order it from Diamond if they don't have it.
Yeah, and I mean, I was telling Quincy I'm going to pick up this. This is going to be one that I'm actually going to start collecting.
Yeah,
because I like this set.
I'm always down for more comics. I'm always down for getting people into comics. I think this is a great way to do it by pulling something that they like and going, hey, you can read the lore over here. Plus, it's something you can physically own and feel good about. I'm sure they'll do a digital version. I got nothing against digital, but I personally like to be able to hold my comics. I like to be able to actually appreciate the art physically, not through a digital screen. So this makes me wonder, though. Disney owns Marvel. I wonder if this could open up if they ever decide to do any kind of League of Legends movie or show or anything, if Disney would be the company to do it.
An interesting idea, but I'm going to lean back.
I'm not saying do it. I'm just saying if they ever want to do it, they've kind of got the beginnings of an in there. So, but I have no experience with League of Legends. So when you said Ash, the first thing that came to mind was Ashley Williams from Evil Dead, Army of Darkness. So.
No, Ash is a Freljordian princess turned queen who found a very, very celestial frost-like weapon and now has to, this is her prerequisite to her gaining that weapon. So it's a good thing to lean up into. The Battle of the Freljord, going against Lysandra, the original Ice Queen. That sort of thing. I already know that much of the lore, but I don't know the true battle. There's so many other Freljordians, like Tryndamere, Ash's husband. Fucking Braum, who takes a door off of an unbreakable vault to use it as his shield. You've got so many Freljordian characters that you are just, I'm sure, are going to be brushed up against and pulled into this interesting narrative.
Now, is it a miniseries?
They're saying it's going to be a full 50. They say it's going to be a full 52, but I'm not 100%.
Okay. Because normally they'll do a limited run for something like this. They'll announce the numbers, and then from there gauge whether or not they want to keep running it. For instance, Darth Vader. They did all these Star Wars comics back when Disney first was like, we're going to start making Star Wars movies again. And one of them was Darth Vader. It was originally supposed to be like a 6 or 7 comic book run, and it sold like crazy. So much so that they went, this is going to be ongoing, and it's still ongoing now. So.
And one last little tidbit of free things for video games. I'm a huge fan of Final Fantasy. That's no shake at a stick. I do enjoy Final Fantasy, even though they're the bad ones like 13, 13-2, Lightning Returns, and 14. I'm just not a big fan of MMOs, not anymore. But Dissidia NT is going free to play on March 12th on Steam and I think consoles soon after.
Cool.
Dissidia is a game that I will label is the first game that I spent 1,000 hours in. I always had my PSP on me. When I went to work, I would play it all lunches, all breaks. On my way home, I would always be playing it. As soon as I broke 1,000 hours, I put $800 into the tattoo on my back that covers a good third of it.
So now, was this a PSP exclusive when it launched?
Yes.
Okay. So now it coming to PC one, that's a huge thing.
It's a huge thing, but then it's
general.
like something tells me it's going to feel like a
PSP game.
it'll feel like a mobile port.
I've played some of the PSP games that they've moved over to PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 3. They never put the work in that they should have to convert those over.
That makes me wonder.
Always tell.
That makes me wonder if you in PlayStation now. It makes me wonder if you can get like Monster Hunter or Freedom Unite. Because
they have a section where they separate by console. I've never seen a PSP section.
Well, then any of the Monster Hunters.
Maybe now that it's gone legacy with the Vita, maybe they'll start pulling things like that. I don't
Maybe,
know.
but
Try to make money off of something they've killed.
Well, Monster Hunter World still isn't dead. They're still building things for it. So
I'm not saying it's dead. I'm
I know.
saying the PS Vita, they killed it.
It's dead, yes.
To be fair, Nintendo killed it. Come on, do you think it ever
killed the radio
Yeah.
star?
But no, this is exciting for me because this means I can, kind of get into some more stuff that I never got to play because I never owned the PSP. I never owned the Vita. I never owned either one of those. So this is interesting for me, especially if it does hit console.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Even if it hits PlayStation, I got the 4, so I can still have my chance with it.
Just as long as it readies itself for it.
Yeah. Now if it's broken and doesn't work, that's gonna suck. But I'm not gonna hold it against Final Fantasy. I'm gonna hold it against PlayStation.
Or you can hold it against Capcom.
Or I'll hold it against Capcom. I can be angry at Capcom. I have no issues with that.
I mean, I'm a little bit mad that their fighters aren't that great right now.
I played Case Zero. I can be mad at them.
The
DLC for Dead Rising 2.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. So is there anything else comic book wise that you had? Because I don't have a lot of comic book news other than Batman's about to celebrate 80 years.
Oh,
DC is going to go big this year with it. They said starting for when 80 years hits, which I think is soon. They plan on doing stuff basically all year.
He's been doing Detective Comics for 80 years?
Yeah.
That's really formidable.
Yep.
Wow.
They went hard on for 75th anniversary. I've got a bunch of stuff for 75th anniversary. But they're going even harder this year. They're saying they're even going to make real life bat signals. So I'm excited.
Okay. All right.
I want to see what DC is going to do. I don't have the biggest faith in Warner Brothers all the times, but they have pulled out some good stuff. I was a big fan of what happened with the whole Bat Kid thing that San Francisco and Warner Brothers and DC did and everything. But this leads me into we heard last week, we were talking a little bit about it, I think, that Will Smith was leaving as Deadshot.
A little bit. We didn't get into too much detail, but so, you have a coverage for that now.
Yeah, he did leave, and he is being replaced. And they aren't replacing the character; it'll still be Deadshot. They're just replacing the actor. It's gonna be Idris Elba,
aka one of the hottest black men in this world.
Yeah, I love Idris Elba. I think he's a great actor. I'm a Luther fan. I liked him in Thor. I wish he had been used a little bit more in Thor. You
gotta figure not much was on that oh my god,
Asgard.
Yes, I almost said Isengard.
No, I he was definitely a great character, well acted and everything. But I just, if you're gonna use Idris Elba, give him a role.
Give him something bigger than just running through the city streets and all that. I getcha.
But this excites me because I do like him a lot. I even liked him in The Losers.
I forgot that he was in The Losers.
Yeah, it's him.
Holy shit!
Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Chris Evans, and I'm spacing on the 4th and 5th guy. There's 2 others in that, and I can't remember who they are.
The dark skinned chick.
Oh, but yeah, if you want to count her, I was talking about the original team, not what's her name.
Oh.
But no, I enjoy his career. So him as Deadshot, I think, can be great depending on how this movie's written. I didn't watch Suicide Squad because I saw the trailers and went, that's going to be bad. And here we are at a 20% freshness, and I don't even like Rotten Tomatoes, but I'm sitting there going, I think Rotten Tomatoes is being generous for once.
And I saw it and I didn't like it. I give it a stern 1 out of 10.
Now, the interesting thing, though, is James Gunn's writing and directing the sequel.
What?
So
you got James Gunn and Ibris.
As well as Gunn saying he's bringing in new characters. I don't know how many of the old characters will make it, but he wants to bring in... He's talking Polka Dot Man, possibly. He's talking about...
That's a lot of things that they're wanting in King Shark.
King Shark, thank you. And then he's also talking about Peacekeeper, which he says he wants Batista for.
And I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot that you're wanting to pull in and hold tight and make sure that this doesn't fall apart like Suicide Squad 1 did. I'm just hoping that they don't screw it up. That's it. That's all I'm hoping for at this point, is no one screws up what they're supposed to do. Because I'm tired of all these... I keep saying it every goddamn week. I'm tired of bad movies.
Well, and hopefully this will be the one that finally breaks the rut. I mean, to be fair, Aquaman did well.
Wonder Woman
did well.
Yeah.
But, this is more on the Batman side. And, since the Nolan verse ended, and to be honest, Dark Knight Rises wasn't that great. I wasn't a fan of the way Talia was. I wasn't a fan of the way Bane was.
Batman.
I wasn't a fan of the Robin situation.
There was no Robin.
Except for the fact that his name was Robin.
No, there is no Robin. No, there's no Robin.
So,
or there was me, Mason.
But, enough about the DC cinematic universe. There's some sad news in the television universe. Arrow is ending after season 8, which will come out with 10 episodes this fall.
Okay.
They're saying that they're going to end it well. They are ending it. They're working into it. The actors are sad to see it go. Us fans are sad to see it go. At least most of us are. I've seen a few people that aren't as sad as I am. Granted, I'm not caught up, so maybe the show still has to disappoint me. I don't know. However, what I found weird is the producer of the show said the Arrow universe is going to keep going now. So while Arrow's not going to be a thing anymore, Flash isn't being canceled, Legends isn't being canceled. I don't know if they're planning on doing any more animated things, but there's still a possibility there. I have a feeling that it's being canned because either A, they want to take Arrow into the cinematic universe, or B, they want to take them into something that they're going to be doing on DC streaming service. I'm not saying the same actor, because it won't be. I'm thinking the character. So, I don't know. It's sad. I don't want to see it go. CW's kind of a little all over the place right now with what they're doing.
DC's all over the place with what they're doing.
Yeah, true. But, we've got the Arrowverse, which was a huge block of CW. And then you've got Riverdale, which was getting a spin-off in a sense of Sabrina, which instead they decided, no, we're going to do Charmed instead, and sent Sabrina over to Netflix. But now CW is also doing a Nancy Drew thing. They're kind of
flaky.
Yeah, they're kind of all over the place. And since we brought it up, some sad news that just happened. Luke Perry passed away.
Oh, yes.
Riverdale writers already said that they're going to honor him. The producer said that each episode for the remainder of this season will honor him. Like, they're going hard on honoring him. Everyone there is very sad to see him go.
Yeah.
So, the feels might hit a little hard on Riverdale for a bit. I don't know what they're going to do with the character. Because he wasn't done filming, and they still had stuff that character was supposed to do. I highly doubt, because of the way they're acting, that they'll recast him. But they're probably going to have to kill the character off.
Either that or move him away.
Yeah, but he played Archie's dad. So it's going to be kind of
incarceration? Like, I don't want to see him die. I want to see...
Yeah.
Incarceration makes better sense.
Yeah. Well, spoilers here for The Ranch. Were you a fan? Okay. Spoilers for The Ranch. They had to get rid of a character in that, and first they threatened incarceration, but more scared him off and made him move away, and then brought him back to kill him off. So, it's...
Okay.
The actor got in trouble. They had to do something.
Come back. We're going to kill you.
Well, they were in the middle of a season when the stuff happened with the actor that they had to cover up. Or not cover up. They didn't cover it up. But they had to figure out what they were going to do with the character. And so at that moment, they were like, just go. because nothing was set in stone with what was going on with the actor.
And then it got set in stone, and then he's like, "Come on back, we're gonna kill you."
So we can kill you. It was I'm spacing on his name. He played Hyde in that '70s show.
Ah,
I can't remember his name.
I can't either.
But
we're doing terrible with names today.
Yeah, we're bad on names. But he got into legal trouble, and that's why Netflix was like, just we're gonna send your character away, and then when the legal trouble didn't clear up, they're like, we're gonna kill your character off because we don't want to be connected to this. Now, while we have CW and Warner Brothers and DC that don't know what they're doing, we've got Disney, who I think kind of knows what they're doing. First of all, they've announced the next, this one I don't care about, but they've announced the next live action Disney thing, which will be Little Mermaid.
Whatever, man. Ever since I heard The Jungle Book with Christopher Walken doing I Want to Be Like You, I'm like, it gave me a little bit of revitalized feels. As soon as I watch Aladdin, or at least the song number, that's all I want to see.
Yeah.
That's all I really want to see. I'll still pay for the movie. I'll still go and see the movie. Or I'll pay for the ticket and just walk away. Consider it a sale. Because I don't know if I want to watch the whole friggin' thing. Considering Beauty and the Beast wasn't that great. And what was the other one? There was another one.
Beast, I didn't have anything against Beauty and the Beast. I enjoyed it. It was almost shot for shot the same movie.
Yes, but I felt like it wasn't as impactful. The reason why I say that is when she goes into the East Wing and West Wing? East Wing? The Forbidden Wing.
The Wing.
Walks into the wing and runs into the rose. The Beast is supposed to immediately snap at her, rip her away from it, keep her away, get out, that monument scene. But in the live action, it's kind of played down. Because the Forbidden Wing is supposed to be all torn up, and she's supposed to be able to try and piece it together, and then the big climatic part of get the hell out.
Yeah,
that's not really drummed on. It's just a quick slap on the hand, and you're already out the door.
And that I understand being upset about that. The other live actions that you're probably thinking of is they did do a Cinderella one, which I did not see. That was actually first.
That's right.
They had Maleficent, which just with a poster today announced its sequel, which is releasing this year. They waited to launch any semblance that this movie was happening until today.
Is it still going to have Jolie?
Angelina? Yeah.
Okay. Good to see that she's still doing stuff.
Yeah. And we have Jungle Book. They did Mowgli as well, which I don't know if that was Disney. I thought it was Disney.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't. It was just an adaptation. But even still, the Jungle Book did well. It had Bill Murray and fucking Christopher Walken.
What I didn't like without the Jungle Book was what's her name? Black Widow.
Oh, as Ka.
Yeah.
I mean, you got
just because she didn't talk like a snake. That was my only issue. Past that, I was fine with it. I mean, you want to make Ka a girl? I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, the whole rest of the movie seemed okay. I watched a little bit of it. It was okay. I just listened to the two songs and watched the first 40 minutes, a little under. It was still, it was entertaining.
Yeah.
Christopher Walken as King Louis, super fucking good. They could not, I don't think in today's times, I don't think they could have picked anyone better.
There's no one I can think of, honestly. I mean, no one that's alive that I can think of. There's definitely actors that have passed that I would have liked to have seen. But
okay.
Walken for him, I think, was great.
Yeah.
We've got Aladdin. We've got talks of Little Mermaid.
And then
they did another princess, I thought, but I'm just...
they have a rumor that
there was...
If Aladdin does well, that we're going to get Notre Dame, which is one of my favorite ones, just because the music's not necessarily the story for it. Oh no, but the music's of Notre Dame is super good.
The bells of Notre Dame.
The bells of Notre Dame. Hellfire, more specifically.
Gotcha. No, I thought it was good music, and the story, while creepy, was a good story. My issue was that movie was shoved down my throat when I was a kid. So now I'm just like, I'm so tired of Notre Dame. But that's my own personal issue. That's nothing against Disney.
No, of course not. But would you like to see a different rendition of that movie that was shoved down your throat?
I'd probably wait for it to come out on HBO or something.
Okay.
Honestly, unless someone was like, please go with me. If you were like, hey, I really want to go see this. Let's go see this. I'd be like, all right, we'll go see it. But I'm not going to, through my own powers. Like, I'm gonna go see Notre Dame.
Okay.
There was one more. It's driving me nuts. They did another remake. I know that we had the 2 Snow White movies, but I don't know that Disney did either one of them because we had The Huntsman with Hemsworth.
Yes.
And at the same time, we had the Mirror Mirror with Julia Roberts. But I don't think either one of those were Disney.
Lion King,
that's the other one. Okay. Yeah, that one I don't get because it's complete CGI work. So you're seriously just making you're remaking an animated movie by making it with fancy animation. Plus, you brought James Earl Jones back to voice Mufasa, which is amazing, except that it kind of just makes it feel like it's the same movie.
It does. Do you count Christopher Robin?
No, that was a whole new story.
You're right.
That was kind of like Hook,
Oh, that's right. Glenn Close did 101 Dalmatians.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
That was a long time
They
ago.
did a sequel to that.
Did they?
Yeah, it was not good.
How do you feel about Kim Possible?
I kind of agree with what the voice actor said. Leave the kids alone. They're just trying to have a career.
I'm fine with that.
But I know a lot of people are upset with it and the way it looks. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to watch it, but I'm not going to boycott it. It's just not interested.
Would you count Pete's Dragon?
Yes, Pete's Dragon was another one that they did. This was very much in the vein of these live action remakes that they're doing.
All right. And that's all that I really... There's a Mulan one in the talks?
There's Mulan that they're working on or something like that. So.
And Dumbo.
Oh yeah, Tim Burton's Dumbo. It's gonna be dark, I think, because it's Tim Burton, and Dumbo was already kind of a dark story.
I mean, I don't know.
Well, I mean, the whole reason why the movie was made in the first place was Walt didn't like the way circus animals were treated, and he wanted to bring light to the subject.
Well, you also have Danny Elfman doing the music.
Yeah, I mean, that's because him and Tim Burton.
Yeah, I know. So I'm saying that this is probably going to be dark, and I kind of don't want it to be, considering only maybe the first half of the movie is dark.
No, pretty much the whole movie is dark. It ends on a high note, but the whole movie's a damn downer.
Oh boy, let's see. There was someone in this movie.
Danny DeVito's in it.
Danny DeVito is a high end. Colin Farrell, Michael Keaton. That's all that I really recognize.
I mean, how many characters are you really going to have in this that you need a high end actor? I mean, you got Dumbo, you got Timothy, you got the ringleader, you got the crows, and past that, it's like the clowns are all just fuck off characters. Maybe Dumbo's mom, but I don't remember her even having a line in the original movie. I don't know. The live action remake thing is a little weird. I've seen some good out of it. I've seen some bad out of it. I'm hoping Aladdin is not a bad. And I'm open to Little Mermaid. I don't know that I'll go see that one either, but I'm not against it by any means.
Oh, no.
I want good casting. That's what I want from these.
I mean, they did a neutral casting, in my opinion, about Aladdin, where the Jafar character looks 40 times hotter than Aladdin.
I have not seen what Jafar looks like in this.
Okay, next subject while I bring up a picture.
Yeah, I can move on to the next subject. So that was one of the Disney things we have, but I have a few more Disney things. Disney Plus, that's the streaming service we're getting this year for Disney, which I'm on the fence about whether or not I'm going to get. I did not get CBS All Access despite Twilight Zone. I did not get the DC Universe because I don't care about Titans, and I don't care about the the animated Harley Quinn, while also I don't like the fact that it's only available on PC, Apple, and Roku. Make it available on console, guys. Okay, can you show me him as Jafar, though? Like, have they released a Jafar image?
Dude.
I mean, okay, you kind of messed up. I got it. Yeah, look, I kind of like him as Jafar. I think they should have gone a little further out with the facial hair, though. You should have given him the squiggly, the curly Q thing. But what Disney Plus has done that's kind of getting me closer to deciding to start paying for this, and I'm done with subscription services for the most part, so they really got to sell me.
Same. I only have one, and it's Hulu.
So I have Shudder, Funimation, Netflix, Hulu, Boomerang, and I think that's it. And that's me and Lauren both.
Yeah.
Like, half of those are hers, half of those are mine. Disney may be the next one I put in, because they've already got the original programming for Star Wars and Marvel that they're launching that are going to be connected to the universes. The Marvel stuff, they're bringing in the Marvel actors to do it. The Star Wars stuff will be continuations of the cartoons and stuff like that. but they just announced that they're opening up the vault, and pretty much all of their feature films, animated feature films, all of it, are going to be on Disney Plus.
Now that makes me wonder: is it going to be touched up? Are they going to be the remastered?
I'm sure that anything that's been remastered will be. Anything that
And
hasn't,
then-
I don't see them putting the money into.
And then do you figure that they'll also add the like commentary? I don't want to call them commentaries.
I don't think they'll do that.
The special features?
I don't think they'll do
You don't
that.
think of that?
Well, they might, but I doubt it. That's what gets people to still buy the DVDs, and they still want to sell DVDs
You're right.
or Blu-rays.
Either or.
But what I think, the final thing that will make me 100% I'm down, start throwing in the Disney Channel stuff. Like, part of me kind of wants to see a little bit of Halloween Town, Under Wraps, the goofier stuff. But the real part of me wants to see what?
Gravity Falls.
Gravity Falls, Darkwing Duck.
You know what?
You put Darkwing Duck on there, you got my monthly subscription. At least until I finish Darkwing Duck like 3 times.
Darkwing Duck's good.
DuckTales.
Duck neutral. Neutral.
me, that's
Heavy
a big
neutral. Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Rescue Rangers. Tailspin.
Neutral, just because I'm not a big fan of planes.
Okay. It was
And actually, I take that back. I also had to leave whenever Tailspin started, so I never really got into it, I guess.
gotcha. But there's a few more. There's even some of their old live action shows. I highly doubt now I would like it, but I remember being into Phil the Future when that was a thing. That was probably a little bit after your time because you're a little older than me.
I am.
But they had some live action TV shows that I could see going through and seeing if I still like them or re-giving them a chance. That will be the final thing. They do this, I'm paying. It's done. It's happening.
Okay.
And it kind of shows. It's kind of a weird thing because you've got the DC one that is doing everything archived. It already has all the archive stuff. But because of their present stuff, I'm not interested. As where Disney's doing present stuff that's getting me interested, and I'm going, oh, just add the archive. Come on, just give me the archive and we're good.
And then they give it to you and you're like, yes.
It's kind of, for years, DC was winning in animation, and now Marvel's kind of
taking both.
A little bit, yeah. And now Marvel,
both, and even the comics.
Yeah. Well, I've always been big into the Marvel comics, but it's just nice to see that Disney seems to have figured out what they're doing. I finally feel like a company figured out what they're doing and have made a connection with the audience
and their own directors.
Yes, that too.
Because the directors have pretty good hands, and they say, "Okay, we're gonna put this in good hands. We're gonna run everything by you." And then as soon as they're done with the final product, you have Disney that's like, "That's actually pretty good. Release it, ship it."
So, this leads me into some more Disney news, and this is all Star Wars stuff, so you'll be a little iffy. But the head of Disney, Bob, he is talking about episode 9. It's still in editing. That's why we don't have a trailer yet. However, they have showed footage to investors, and investors seem happy. So that's good there. And then May 21st at Disneyland, August 29th at Disney World, Galaxy's Edge opens. That's the whole Star Wars
the
expansion.
thing you were trying to peek over and take a glance at. So
we've got we got opening dates now for both Orlando and Anaheim.
Good.
So I'm excited for that. I think that's all I have Disney-wise, though.
I don't have anything Disney-wise.
Well,
I only have one more story left, but I'll save it for last.
Okay. So, scratch that. One more Marvel thing.
Oh.
A comic book artist, Jen Bartel, did some Captain Marvel Adidas. I've seen them. They actually look pretty decent. They're inspired by the movie's costume. I like them. I think they're women's shoes, so I probably wouldn't wear them. But they look pretty good, and they will be available to buy. It's not like she did it just to do it. They'll be available on the 8th, so tomorrow.
All right, cool. I mean, it's good to see clothing designers saying, "Hey, I like this. I want to do renditions of this."
Oh, a couple years back, Journeys did a thing with Vans where they released all these comic book themed shoes. I actually bought 2 pairs of Spider-Man shoes. They were the exact same pair. I just bought them twice, and I wore them until they fell off my feet.
Speaking of shoes and designer of shoes, Diesel did Street Fighter inspired ones, and I'm going to show Quincy them right now.
Which company is Diesel?
Does watches.
Oh, okay.
But like You got M. Bison and Charlie Nash, top to bottom, right there.
Oh, those are cool. Like they're simple. They're not in your face type of things.
And then I want to say that's Ryu and Chun-Li left to right.
Oh, I like the writing on the bottom.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And that's another thing is on the bottom, all of them have it. Oh my god! There we go. Like spinning bird kick on the Chun-Li ones.
Cool. Yeah, I like those.
So I mean, it was just a redux, if you will, and they said we're gonna take a little bit of liberties, like psycho power. Like I would definitely get the dark red and black inlined Bison ones that have psycho power on the bottom. I'm just like, oh, that's so nice.
Here's the Captain Marvel ones.
Now that looks really good.
Yeah. Like I said, sadly they're a woman's shoes, so I can't.
I mean,
I could,
but it'd be way too tight.
Yeah, I'd have to find a really big woman's size to try to fit my feet.
Mm.
So, they look nice. And they're Adidas, which, let's be honest, does some pretty quality work sometimes with their shoes. So, they might last you a while. That was the one complaint I had about my Spider-Man Vans is they fell apart quick. Yeah, I'm a big Vans person. I that's all I wore for the longest time. But
like I would have bought the Punisher Vans that they custom made. But one thing, my feet are freaking huge.
Yeah,
I know for a fact, even if I got it in my size, I would not be able to fit those out.
Yeah.
And then again, would I want to wear them?
Well, the other thing that with the Vans ones was they did it with Journey, and for some reason Journey's doesn't do half sizes. I'm actually a half size, so I had to go either too big or too small. I didn't. There was no in between. I couldn't get my size, so that was a little annoying. So we talked a little bit about us being Bond fans on some of the episodes, but we haven't really got into it too deep. I don't think. I mean, I've played, I think, practically every Bond game that's come out. I own most of the books and have read them.
I've just seen most of the movies. I played a little bit of Quantum of Solace, but never got too heavy.
You gotta play the GoldenEye remake.
I played the old one on the N64.
The remake's a whole different game. It's interesting. Daniel Craig actually did it.
That's right. You said he replaced
Brosnan.
Yes.
Yeah. I also own the entire franchise for movies. About the box set with the one that came with the spot for Spectre. So when Spectre came out, I was able to add it. Yada yada yada. So we talked about them casting and everything for villains and Bond girls and stuff like that on the last episode. Well, what I'm bringing up this episode is Bond 25 has apparently been working under the name of Shatterhand, which I don't like. we talked about this a little bit. I don't like the name.
I was neutral to it just because of how weird the names were already. Like,
yeah.
I mean, Moonraker and Octopussy. Like, come on.
Yeah, but Spectre, Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace were much calmer names. Okay. And they all connected well with their movies.
Yeah, okay.
So when I heard Shatterhand, I'm like, what the hell is Shatterhand? Well, someone made up a nice little print.
Wait, what about Icebreaker?
No, that makes me think of the Mint.
That's fine, but okay. But what about the name in total?
Every time I hear it, I'm going to think of the Mint, and the next thing I know, I'm going to see Daniel Craig doing Icebreaker commercials. No.
How it feels or 2-5 gum.
No, I'm not down. But there's a fan that made like a very nice white print with black writing where they did Shatterhand with 007, the logo and everything after, and like kind of did up like their own little thing and went and met one of the producers and got him to sign it. I guess this guy like looks for autographs, and so this is kind of his way of getting them and stuff like that. So he got the producer to sign it. So the producer signs it on the bottom, and then at the top writes, "It's not that," with an arrow pointing at Shatterhand.
Oh my god!
Confirming that it's just the title they're filming under, because they have to have working titles, but they're not ready to release the actual title. So I don't have to deal with Shatterhand, luckily. I'm hoping it'll be a good name. Fingers crossed. The last thing I have movie-wise, really, was Happy Death Day 3. Jason Blum says it most likely won't happen. However, he says it's not impossible. He's the head of Bloom Studios. It's his studio company. And the first one did really well. I don't know how well the second one's doing. But he's like, we're not really looking to do a third, but I'm not saying it's impossible. So for the Happy Death Day people, that's a thing. The other two things come from me following people on Twitter and just kind of seeing their reactions to things. Matthew Lillard's upset because it was just announced the new animated Scooby-Doo movie, and that was how he found out he's not Shaggy.
That's bad. That wasn't nice.
Yeah.
Leave Shaggy alone.
I was a little upset about this too because the actor they picked, I don't have anything against him, but he's got a very recognizable voice, and he's not Shaggy. Like I feel like it's just gonna be him talking. I haven't heard anything for sure, but I don't think he's doing a Shaggy voice. And it's Will Forte. I'm not entirely sure how to say his last name. He was on Last Man on Earth. He's one of those actors that's kind of been a little bit of everything. But I like I said, I do like him, but we've spent so much time of Casey Kasem came up with the Shaggy voice. Then you had Billy West, who replicated the Shaggy voice. Then you had Matthew Lillard, who replicated the Shaggy voice.
Who destroyed his voice to make the Shaggy voice.
But now, suddenly, we don't care about the Shaggy voice. I mean, we've only ever had Frank Welker doing Fred because they can't find anyone else that can do Fred. Frank Welker is the only one that can. And so they actually looked to recast Frank Welker at one point, but they couldn't find a Fred, so they just said, screw it, and kept Frank Welker. But you don't care about Shaggy's voice? And not to say anything's wrong with Frank Welker. Frank Welker is amazing, and I don't want him to stop being Fred. He's also pretty much any animal sound in any movie ever. He does animal noises amazingly. It's insane. I'm getting the look from Justin right now. A lot of the times when you hear dogs barking in movies, it's actually Frank Welker.
Really?
Yeah, he does a lot of animal voices. That's actually how he got to start before he got to start doing voice acting.
And then he says, come on, gang.
Actually, he went in to be Shaggy.
Oh, that's right.
He went in to be Shaggy, and Casey Kasem went in to be Fred, and they were asked to read for the opposite roles.
And then that's how that happened.
Yep.
Okay.
You know, we've been through several Daphnes and several Velmas, but they've all sounded pretty much the same.
Yeah, they sound pretty alike.
It's so weird that suddenly we stopped caring about how Shaggy sounds. And then the fact that the way Lillard finds out is an advertisement for the movie.
And then he's like, wait, what?
Yeah,
What?
he's just like, that's a great way to find out. The other person I saw that's upset on Twitter right now is Tony Todd. He's the actor for, he was in the first two Candyman movies. He was the Candyman. He's the amazingly creepy voiced, tall,
His voice is very distinguished.
Yeah, could scare the crap out of you black guy in pretty much all horror movies. And almost never the bad guy. It's actually very seldom that he's the bad guy anymore. He was the bad guy in Candyman. He's Candyman. Candyman. We're not staring at a mirror, but I figured I'd do it anyways. He didn't show up, so we're good. They're remaking it. Oh, yeah, knock on wood. They're remaking it, and he's upset because he didn't even get a phone call. Like, they just ignored his existence, it seems. He didn't get a phone call asking about a cameo. He didn't get a phone call asking about anything. Just blown off. At
least give these people their just desserts. At least give them the chance. Yeah. Like, if you had just contacted Matthew Lillard and said, hey, you want to reprise your role? He would have probably been like, oh, hell yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, or, no, I got a couple things I'm working on. Sorry, it's going to be a while if you're needing me. You know, something. At least ask.
Yeah. Well, Tony Todd did come out and say, here's another tweet from him. He says, by the way, let's hold up on the boycott Candyman reboot. The character is in great hands. Believe the truth will be exposed. Just wait for applause-worthy moments. Light the light. Let's see what shakes out. I feel what I believe. Love supreme. He's been very supportive of the movie so far. Okay. Before the whole thing.
So he was a little miffed when it started, but he seems fine.
Yeah, and he's also being like, he's not going to sugarcoat anything and be like, no, they didn't talk to me.
Sugarcoat? Candyman?
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even make that connection, but there we go. I kind of like the way he's handling this of, I'm not going to take this lying down, but I'm also not going to use the following I have to fuck up your movie. Just understand what you did was wrong.
Yeah.
So,
and that's fine and fair. That's a very mature way of doing it, but at the same time, it's like I still would have preferred them to at least go to the original. If they could still do it.
I mean, I'm a little excited for this movie because I enjoyed the original Candyman. To give you, because you haven't seen Candyman, let me give you an idea of what Tony Todd did for this role. His character is covered in bees. That's just kind of part of it. He opens up his jacket and he has bees on him. It's part of the character.
Bees.
So there's a scene where he reveals the bees and everything, and he's got the victim, and he goes to kiss her, and his mouth is full of bees, and they're crawling on his face and in his mouth. He actually had bees in his mouth and on his face. Like, they legitimately covered him in bees for this role. And this is the guy that's not even being called up for a cameo.
Are you fucking... Now I'm mad. Now I'm feeling this. Like,
But-
how do you do that with someone who is so in-depth into that character?
Yeah. And like I said, he's
Wow.
saying don't boycott it. He doesn't want that at
Okay.
all. He wants the movie to do well. He just wants to be acknowledged, I
As
think.
I've said the past 6 episodes, here's to hoping.
So, the last thing I have is something I've been meaning to bring up is on our first episode, if you could hear it,
Yeah, right.
I drank Death Wish coffee, which is enjoyable. I didn't find it to be as strong as it claims, but it was an enjoyable cup of coffee. And I was excited because we found the K-Cups at Walmart, but that was all I've been able to find because before that you can only buy it online. Now I have found the K-Cups at Smith's and Albertsons, as well as finding the grounds at Albertsons. And if you go to Death Wish's website, they also list the other places you can find, not grounds, whole beans, sorry. They have whole beans at Albertsons. If you go to their website, though, they do list other places you can find the whole beans. Not a sponsor in any ways, but I did want to give an update because it was something I had talked about kind of excitedly, and I wanted to make sure people knew that there's other places you can get it now. Check their website. That's what I did. After seeing them in the stores, I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, let me look see where else they are." So what's the last thing you had for today?
The last thing I had for the day is I'm a huge fan of Critical Role. I do enjoy Matt Mercer, Travis Whittingham, his wife, Laura Bailey, all of them. They're all amazing voice actors. They do an amazing job at immersing you in this podcast of D&D.
Which, when Lillard was talking about the Shaggy thing, Mercer jumped on Twitter as well. Was like, "Yeah, that's fucked up."
Oh yeah,
So-
yeah. He's been being blown away. And speaking of being blown away of the Critical Role, they started up a Kickstarter to introduce some people, because a lot of people haven't really listened to Campaign 1
Mhm.
or even had the lore of Campaign 1 spoken to them. So they started up a Kickstarter to do an animated series. All they were asking for was a simple $750,000, just to get it started up with a half-hour special. They broke $6.25 million.
Dr. Evil will be very proud of the way you said million. Million.
So they've blown all expectations. They said, do not worry, we're going to use this money to support the entire thing. We are going to, instead of just doing 1 or 2 episodes, we're doing an entire series. We have everything already planned out. We have the Briarwood start, Briarwood conclusion. Briarwood start, Briarwood conflict, and Briarwood conclusion. Like, they have everything already mapped out. They are set. They want everything straight up. They even have the incentive goals already met, where there's going to be one-offs where they already did the search for Grog, but now there's the search for Bob, who was a hindrance in their time. So now they have to find a crazed Illithid, I believe they are called, but they are very smart. They are super smart, but this one's been in the land of pandemonium, and he was turned crazy because in a place that's constant wind, no sleep. So now they have to find him again and get themselves back to the normal world. And I mean, it's good that they're having one-offs and all these, and even the incentives just for donating $400, a little bit much, but really good. These Kevlar bags, brushed. It's not brushed Kevlar, but it's like denim style. A little bit of leather, ties it up, has the Vox Machina symbol on it. All of it, great. Everything that they have planned, great. Matt wants to hire fucking Stephen Colbert for something. He's like, he wants a lot of people in this.
That's really cool, and I'm really happy to see, one, what Critical Role has become, two, what this Kickstarter was able to do, and like the stuff that they're planning on doing with it. And I like that when they started reaching higher numbers, because you originally showed me when they were at like 2 million, then 3 million, and now 6 million. The fact that they aren't just sitting there going, "Oh yeah, we got extra money." Like, they're actively going, "Oh crap, okay, we got to figure out what we're gonna do with this money because people gave us this money. Here's what we're thinking."
And you want to know the even funnier thing?
What?
It's only been 72 hours.
Yeah, that's
72 hours, $6 million, crowdfunding. It's insane. But as you said, they're planning on doing something with this money that is all positive. They're saying, "Holy crap, we're happy that you're supporting us, that we're going to support you guys and your want for this project."
No, it's all very reassuring that being a fan of something can still matter.
And
Especially in this day and age where we see movies and TV shows get canceled, comic books get canceled, video games get canceled, things like that. To be able to have a connection with creators, I guess is the word we can go with, and have them react so openly to our praises and our wants.
yeah, and they even said we got a time. We're going to set a deadline, fall 2020.
That's great.
And I'm like, good. You have no idea how happy I am. Like,
I just hope the art's
already
high quality. That's what I want. High quality art from this. That's my big thing.
It is Titmouse. That is the studio who did Venture Brothers, Metalocalypse, Big Mouth, and they did a couple other things. They also have
some interesting art styles in there, but I liked Adventure Brothers art.
They also have one of the writers from Spider-Man.
The movie, the game, the comic book.
I believe it's a comic.
Okay.
She's very good. Apparently, she's got high praises across the board. I want to say that she's one that I believe you read.
Probably. I read a lot of Spider-Man.
You read a lot of Spider-Man, but I want to say
pretty much Superior is the only thing I don't read when it comes to Spidey. So.
Yeah. Oh, and then we find out it's Superior. I'm joking. I don't think it's Superior, but yeah, the project's 72 hours in. Already has $6 million. And they haven't even... Okay, as we're speaking right now, Critical Role is live. Probably. What time is it? 7:22? They're 22 minutes into their campaign right now. Mm-hmm. And I bet they already got the hustle. I'm going to check right now and see how much money they are at.
Okay.
So go ahead with your last.
So I don't have anything else news-wise. What I do have is we like to have discussions. The last couple episodes, each episode we've had a discussion, and I've enjoyed it. So we're going to squeeze this discussion in here at the end because we want to let you know what our opinions are on different things. And I felt like the news is the main part of the show, so I figured we should hit the news and then we can have the discussion. So the discussion for this episode is we're going to discuss whether or not art books for like video games and things along those lines are worth it, and kind of our opinions on any of them. Now, I don't own any art books versus Justin, who owns a lot of art books. So
12.
It'll be, kind of both sides.
Probably more.
But do you have the numbers?
It's still it's 6,285,000. So I thought that maybe the announcement might have blown up that number a lot, but as said, as we're speaking, they're just now getting into their campaign. Don't know if anyone's going to donate right away to their announcement, but I mean, it's
$6 million is still an insanely impressive number, and then you add in the 72 hours, and it blows me away.
And then they still have 42 days left. Like they still have a long time to earn an exponential amount of money. Like some people are like, "Oh man, I get paid on Thursday." They'll be able to put up some money. Their big time targets were gone within the first 4 days or 48 hours ish, which is impressive.
If not less, because I feel like day one they were hitting the millions, weren't they?
They were, but I'm talking like their big rewards, like the put in 25. Let's see. Did they take all of the $25,000 ones? Yes. Donate the 20,000 ones. Those ones are gone. The 10,000 gone. They don't have 15.
So what do I get for about $3.50?
For $3.50, you get the knowing support that you helped out. The minimum to get something is the $20. Yeah. Gets you the Your Turn to Roll song in every format, including the straight Sam Riegel beautiful voice. I love that man. If I have a chance to meet Sam Riegel for 5 minutes, I guarantee you I'll be both happy and very frustrated with him all in those 5 minutes.
Yeah, I've listened to Critical Role. I actually was listening to Critical Role before you, I do believe, but you surpassed me in a heartbeat from where I was at, because I really got into Campaign, which is a Star Wars one done by the One Shot guys.
Yeah, you enjoy your Star Wars. As far as I on the other hand, I love Dungeons and Dragons, its core base and how it's portrayed by many people.
The other thing is I do a lot of audiobooks. So that's the other thing that ends up chewing up a lot of my listening time. So I'm a big Dresden Files and a big Longmire fan. Those are the two franchises that eat up a lot of my time. But so art books. List off some of the ones you have.
I have.
That you can remember.
Well, no, I can remember them. Thank you.
Well, you're like 12, I think.
I think. Well, that's the thing. Some of them aren't just straight art books. Some of them are like concept-ish that are drawn by other people. Like I have a Metal Gear Solid one that is drawn by a completely different artist, but I still support it as concurrent.
So is it his rendition of things? Is that the idea?
Her
Or her?
rendition.
Sorry, her.
It's fine. It's fine. But kind of, it does draw in a little bit of hints and subtleties. But then, of course, I have Final Fantasy XII's art book, the big, thick foam, white pages phone book. And then I have 2 Bloodborne ones, Dark Souls one, a thick... What the hell game was it?
I'm trying to think of the things you might own. Anything from Bethesda?
Oh, yes. The Art of Fallout 4.
There you go. Okay.
And then, actually, I have both the Fallout New Vegas and the Book of Fallout 4. And then I have one for Skyrim, but that one's more that you had made a mention on the way here.
So
that you don't like the one that's just pictures from the game.
Yeah,
you like the sketches.
Yeah, that was something you asked me about, was whether or not the idea was whether or not art books are worth it. And I said if it's just photos of the game, no, because I could make that myself.
Now, the Skyrim one, I could honestly say I was not a big fan of because it was just pictures and a little bit of storytelling.
I mean, yeah, you can throw the storytelling in, that's fine. Everything that would increase my interest. But if we're going for an art book, not lore, not manual, nothing along those lines, but an art book, I like the concept of that Metal Gear one you spoke about, where it's someone else's renditions of the art. I like, the idea of the concept arts. Like these are the sketches we did talking about scenes that inspired the final art. Those are the things I like, especially if I can see the process where it goes from, black and white a concept art to maybe our first coloring rendition to our full-blown drawn out
final,
and then our final CG version.
Yeah.
Those are the concept arts. Those are the books I could see spending money on, because these books aren't normally all that cheap.
No.
You're normally starting around 40.
And that's if you're lucky.
Yeah. Well, they're normally pretty big, but I have not bought any. I own my big hardcover manual for Fallout 4. I was going to get the Tomb Raider one, but I changed my mind. It was the same style. And now, sadly, that company's gone out of business, the one that did those books.
Primo?
Was that the company name? I don't remember. We'd have to check the book downstairs. But they were the main walkthrough company. They went out of business.
Primo.
Okay. Other than that, most of the books I have that are art-based are normally like obscure things. I've got a book that I think I actually got it from a loot crate, but I was happy to get it. And it was someone doing images with action figures. And it was actually absolutely amazingly done. So if you're just going to try to sell me a $40 photo collage of the $60 game I own, I'm not interested. But if you're going to show me your work and your progress and the talent of your artists, then you've got my attention. Is there any art books that you wish you had, or art books that you want to see come out?
Well, I have one on me right now that's going for over $1,000 that I just now found out.
Oh, there you go.
The Book of the Evil Within.
Wow, okay.
$1,773, like on multiple pages, not just this one. So I'm like,
was $7,765.82.
That's
so I didn't play Evil Within.
I liked it.
I got a lot of mixed things on it. The main thing being it wasn't the game people expected. The game it wasn't bad, but the game we expected was different.
Yeah, I can see that. But okay, wow. It's good to know that I only paid $25 for that one.
Okay, sell it and go buy me something pretty.
You got it.
I would like to see, personally, because I'm a huge fan, I'd like to see a Hitman one.
I want to say that there is one.
But like I said, I don't want just photos.
You want concepts.
Yeah, I want to know how they came up with the mansion that the first mission for the Paris fashion show. I want the idea behind that. That's a beautiful freaking building, and there's a lot of detail in that building. Mm-hmm. That's why it's things like that would interest me. I could see if they do another good Star Wars game. I don't want an art book for either of the Battlefronts. I don't need that. But if we do get another RPG, I would be happy. Or maybe
kind of like the Metal Gear one where it's their take on Metal Gear. I could see someone doing their take on Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, and Force Awakens 1 and 2. Or not Force Awakens, Force Unleashed. Sorry, Force Awakens was the movie. I think the Metal Gear games might be an interesting one for that as well, the concept arts.
I mean, I'm sure there is one.
I'm sure there is.
Speaking of that, of Hitman one, there is a Hitman one, and it comes with the tie.
Ooh.
$16.
That's not bad either.
Mm-mm.
I'd like to see one for Spider-Man.
Let's find out. The current one?
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
More for their cutscenes than the
PS4.
city, because the city's just New York. Not that there's anything wrong with New York, but like I said, I don't want screenshots. The Arkham series, that's one I could be interested in. I've seen their concept art for the Arkham series because it's unlockable in the game. And they've got some very beautiful concept art, and there's also some concept art that the final product is massively different.
I mean, yeah, you gotta figure concepts are just that.
No, yeah, no,
concepts.
that's the thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm saying I like to see that that's what happened. Like, it started out as one thing and became this whole nother thing through the creative process.
$25.44 for the Spider-Man the Game art book.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like the cover on that. It's very simplistic.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and then you of course have the not so simplistic cover. It's the same book, just a different cover. If I can get it blown up. Where
that's pretty cool.
Doing a nice little fist fight with a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
I
like,
and it does what you're wanting it to. Shows concepts.
Oh yeah, that's very well done. I really like that. Those are the ones I would be interested in getting.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm probably not going to run out and buy an art book anytime soon.
Yeah. I mean,
But
unless you were going to see some of the people who were working on the game to get their signatures.
That would definitely be really cool. There is one art book that me and Lauren own that we're pretty big on. So we went to the Las Vegas Comic-Con last year. And we met a very lovely man that sadly has now passed away. He did the Death of Superman Lives. It was a documentary of the Superman movie that never happened. It was supposed to have Nicolas Cage. It was supposed to be done by Tim Burton. And he was there doing signings and stuff like that. His name was John Schnepp. He did an art book with several other artists. It was all like concept art of their own, kind of like the Metal Gear one, where they did concept art of The Thing, the horror movie by John Carpenter. And it's this huge, really thick book.
It looked like a
probably
big
kill
tome.
someone with it.
It would be a tome.
Yeah. So he signed the book for us and did a sketch in it for us, and it's very beautiful. And it's just them thinking of different things the Thing could have done, or them recreating scenes from the movie, stuff like that. Very beautiful book. It's got a foreword by both Eli Roth and John Carpenter. It's actually a very lovely buy. I'm glad we did it. And that was not even based off a video game. That's based off a movie.
Yeah.
And I can't really think of many movies I didn't even really think of like doing that for a movie. But then when we saw it, I was like, this is cool.
Probably Enter the Spider-Verse. I would like to
Enter
see.
the Spider-Verse would be a good one. I really liked the art in that.
Yeah. Because the Kingpin fight alone made me go, yeah, I could fuck with this.
I could see it being more of a thing for animated movies like that, or for horror movies where they have to create something, or creature movies where they have to create something. Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings might be a good one.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings would probably be a good one.
Okay.
But like, I don't see someone doing it for Die Another Day.
Oh no.
You know.
Well, if it was one for all the Bond stuff, maybe
I could see one, and there's a poster book someone did, which I was like, I don't know about spending. It was like $30, and it was basically just every movie poster, and I was like, I'm good.
That seems like it would have been a cheeky thing, because $30 could also get you maybe 5 of the posters that you're wanting.
Yeah.
In big form.
Yeah. So I was like, you know
16
what?
by 20.
I'm gonna skip on that. But I could see like someone doing. You know what'd be cool is someone redesigning famous scenes from each movie, but with Bond the way he's described in the book. That would be a cool concept.
I mean, yeah.
Because none of the actors look exactly like him.
None of
I
them.
mean,
Well,
you're not going to find an actor that looks exactly like him, and they all look vastly different from each other.
Yeah, of course. You look at Daniel Craig, then you go back and look at Brosnan, and you're like,
First of all, Craig's blonde.
yeah, yeah.
But you know, I mean, any of them. I mean, Lazenby doesn't look like any of them. Moore didn't look like any of them. Dalton, Connery, all of them. They all look different. But they all embodied Bond was the thing. So that's about it for today, though. I mean, is there anything else you want to mention?
Just our handshake for the this week is still Tokyo Treat.
Yeah.
If you enjoy $25 worth of things. Oh wait, no, it's actually $60, but you're paying $25.
That's actually something I kind of want to bring up. So we've got this thing with a Tokyo Treat right now that I really like the concept. Get snacks from another country that I wouldn't readily be able to get a hold of. We came across a box, and I'm not going to call anyone out, but we came across a box here in town that was Japanese treats. And it was advertised as $35 worth of treats for $25.
No, it was $35 for $45 worth.
That's what it was. That was sorry. It was $45 worth of treats for $35. I was like, really, a $10 savings? And I was looking at the treats; it didn't even look all that impressive.
No,
and I'm like, but we got Tokyo Treat.
Tokyo Treat can involve anywhere between an entire box of very specialized Pocky to an entire bag of a flavor of Kit Kat to even a very, very unique cherry blossom fucking tea. It's varietous. Yeah. It's amazing.
The fact that I could be getting a sweet snack, a salty snack, I could be getting a drink, all of it. You know, it's amazing. And then there's the amount they're going to put in. The fact that they're saying a $60 price at how much are we paying?
$25 for the original box.
See, that's a hell of a deal.
And $10 more gets you a little bit more, plus a do-it-yourself kit in case you like making your own chocolates in a microwave.
Yeah, I mean, that's a $35 savings. If we'd bought in town, we would be getting a $10 savings. All the boxes were exactly the same and not all that impressive.
No.
So I'm perfectly fine waiting for it to show up.
Yeah, and it's every month. It charges every month if you allow it for every month. If you charge it 6 months in advance, you save a little bit. Also, you save, I believe it is 10%.
And we're very much people that have kind of reached our point with subscription services where we've started canceling things and going, I don't want this. I don't want that.
The only reason I quit Loot Crate Gaming, only for one reason and one reason alone, is because the shirts started getting smaller and smaller on me. I went up to 2XL, and even still, it was. I'm not that big of a man, but at the same time,
I've experienced with my regular Loot Crate, some of the shirts shrink the very first time you wash them, no matter what you do.
Yeah, and I'm like, I do cold wash.
They seem to have fixed the problem now.
Oh,
but I mean, a little too late.
Yeah.
I still have Loot Crate, but you know, we have our streaming services, we have our crates and whatnot, and this is definitely one we want in our budget. We want to figure this out in our budget because we think it's worth the price we're paying.
Yeah, I would actually like to do it on podcast. I mean, to munch during podcast, I know is one of your pet peeves.
Yeah, don't eat during the podcast. But you can try the snack and experience it, but do it off mic and then talk into the mic.
There you go.
I don't want to hear you chewing on the podcast. And that's one of the things, us being a podcast that talks about what we're drinking and having a drink here, which you have to have a drink while you're doing a podcast. You talk so much.
Yeah, and then we're constantly looking away and having to be very quiet because I have my infuser, my metal infuser. I'm going to clink it. You know, I got that in there, and I'm trying my hardest not to clink it while I'm taking a sip because I like keeping my infuser in there. I know you're supposed to let it set and then pull it out and just enjoy the drink. No, I like leaving it in there so that way it gets stronger.
He likes to suck on it like a sucker. I'm joking. Don't do it. Please don't do it. Oh, he did it.
That was bitter.
Told you not to do it. But no, Tokyo Treat is definitely one we want to fit into our budget and keep in our budget. Because I feel respected as a customer.
Yeah.
I guess that's the best way to word it. Is I feel respected. I don't feel like they're like, ha, we got your money. I feel like they're like, hey, let's work something out here. And
they even throw in little handwritten letters saying this box was packaged by blank.
See, and that's just beautiful. I've seen a lot of snack boxes, and none of them have ever really spoken to me before.
Oh, let me also paint the preface. I've had this box before.
Yeah, before we had this
financial
deal,
crunch.
Justin was actually getting the box ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
Before we even dreamed of a podcast or anything like that. Just because you're like, ooh, Tokyo, I like Japanese stuff.
I do.
I mean, to clarify, your goal is to eventually visit Japan
Mhm.
and do an entire thing there. You've got all this stuff you want to see and do there.
Yes.
And if you don't send me some photos of something in Godzilla, we're gonna have to stop being friends.
Oh, you bet your ass I'm going to find something Godzilla-esque.
So-
The Godzilla Museum just outside of Kiriko, I will definitely visit.
See, there you go. This just proves my point with him, and he approves of this box.
I do.
So, the link will be in the description.
Mhm.
So they follow the link, just sign up, and are good, right?
Correct.
Cool.
And if they order more months, we get a little bit more of a kickback, but that's on the down low.
Yeah,
Wait.
We want to be honest with you with how things work, and the way Tokyo Treat works with companies is no secret. You can go on their website and you can figure it out.
Yeah. And they're pretty straightforward about how they handle their boxes too. Everything is guaranteed fresh, straight out from the manufacturer to them, to the importer, to us.
Yes.
And it's simple.
Yeah. And the other thing to consider with this is, because it is coming from another company, this is something that, has to deal with customs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Tokyo Treat takes care of all that for you.
Yeah.
You're not going to deal with anything fancy or anything
25 bucks
special.
flat.
Done.
Free shipping.
Yep. So give it a shot, guys. Check it out. And so try at least a month.
Yeah.
And if you like it, keep doing it. Keep going. Maybe upgrade. But I don't see you wanting to stop after 1 month.
Well, I don't think we will either.
Yeah. So that's all we have for today, guys. No back credit card today?
Bad nipples!
Thanks, guys.
And back crack.